Alrighty, I have a construction update for you guys today. This one's pretty action-packed inside the park. We are nearing completion on footings. There is one correction I have to make later on in the video, but we'll get to that when we get there. So as you can see, more track has arrived. The beautiful black track is there, and there's this weird shipment of supports that have arrived. This is for that first, I call them iceberg looking structures. There's two of them to hold that first element coming out of the mountain. So that is near the base of the tower. I was thinking it was that weird support column way further down the ride when it arrived, but I needed to fact check, and it is not. It is for the start of the structure. But yeah, over here in Extreme Skyflyer, they had two footings that they needed to finish right next to Cornerstones, the restaurant for employees. So they're just finishing those. There is not much work outside of that in Extreme Skyflyer left to do other than vertical and then fine-tuning landscaping. So they are pretty much done in this area after those two footings over by the Cornerstones. Outside of that, they have this area. This area is a really difficult area for them to do the footings in. I'll go into a little more detail when we get back over there. Inside Wonder Mountain, they have cut a few more holes for those support structures to come out of. Again, that support structure is going to look really cool in person. Over here, they have some storage for AlpenFury in the, call it, lost my track of mind there. Sorry, I'm like getting over a cold and I'm on some medicine. But yeah, okay, so over here they have the footings that they're finishing off. It's a very complex area. There's a lot of park infrastructure that they need to dig around. So they're using water excavation to do some of these footings, which is a really long process. That's why they've left it to the last minute to do these. They have to do the pizza patio ones as well. So they're just finishing off those. They're working weekends as well, as you can see here. So this was filmed on Saturday, and then some of it was filmed on Sunday. So definitely a lot of work, but they are nearing completion. They are getting close to starting the station caisson. So you'll see that in a sec. Well, not in a sec. Near the end of the video, you'll see that. But these were those difficult caissons to do that they had to use water excavation for. So definitely really interesting. When you have a fully developed park, it does become complex building these types of roller coasters because you got to work around park infrastructure. These are those footings that haven't been dug yet in the pizza patio area. It's crazy that you can just kind of like see into the construction site like this, but it provides great shots. So as you see here, still some work to do. It's crazy that we get to see the caisson development for this coaster, because a lot of times where you see a footing coming out of the ground or one or two in a pair, you don't realize that there's underground sections for further support. I did not know that in full detail. I can't remember that from Yukon. Again, but Yukon was covered mostly from a drone, so maybe I just missed that. But yeah, seeing those rectangular pieces underground to support two footings together is pretty cool to see. So over here we have more footing work that is nearing completion. They are essentially done this area, so all the caissons are essentially complete. Inside the mountain, you can see where they're going to drill further holes, that little orange marking to go more up. But yeah, so this was the really complex area that I thought they were going to have a lot of difficulty doing, and it turns out that it wasn't actually that complex. The most complex section of the ride was not what I thought was going to be the most complex section of the ride, and that is the bridge over the south end tunnel of Wonder Mountain. So yeah, that's really interesting. Again, the park infrastructure is a great thing to work around. And I guess that makes sense. There's not that much park infrastructure over here. I just thought the drill would have a lot of difficulty accessing this area, but it did not. So that's really cool. Outside of that, I don't know if that footing, that caisson is messed up and they're going to have to redo it, or if that's just what it naturally looks like. I've never kind of seen that. But it doesn't look like they're going to dig that up, so I guess it's complete. This is essentially where the brake run is about to start. So obviously further support is needed. The mountain was open so we could see inside there. Not a lot of work has taken place, but again, sometimes it looks like not a lot of work has taken place, and there has been a lot of work that's taken place. What's interesting to me is the lack of evident, like, visible footings or caissons in this area. So I thought there would have been a lot more work done. I know that they're drilling a lot of holes for the tunnel. They are going to move forward with the tunnel from what I understand. But over in the station area, these orange markings you see are going to be where the caissons are put to hold up the structure, the station structure, and other structures as well, like an exit platform and all that. So you'll see a lot more of that even on the Shockwave queue line side of this structure area. But it's a very large structure, as you can tell. It's supposed to look like a ski chalet, so that'll be really cool. Here's further evidence of those caissons. And the caissons along the rebar cages along the splash path are actually for the station building. So you'll see proof of that in this video as well. Outside of that, I am getting really nervous. So I'm going to be honest. I have been saying that this coaster is on track. I have held kind of like belief that it is on track. But there are definitely some signs that I'll talk about in a second. In here in the mountain, I can't tell if that is the start of the sliding transfer track. That looks like a steel beam that will then house kind of like the transfer track area, the storage track area. I just can't tell if it's resting on the ground and not built in yet, or if it is built in yet. So that is difficult to tell based off of, the tarp. I can't get a good look. So we'll just assume that's a steel beam in the transfer track area. And we'll wait for some further evidence. Now, these rebar cages are for AlpenFury's station. Right here it says Canada's Wonderland AlpenFury station building. And yeah, those are the caissons that will help erect the structure for AlpenFury station. Over underneath Thunder Run, there is evidence of tree removal and some removal of the mountain skirt. So it does appear that they're going to go full out and renovate this whole area to look like AlpenFest. So very curious to see what they're going to end up doing with the Fly, Shockwave, and Blaura Ensien's old entrance to the queue line, because it's just a lot of potential for this area. So, but again, we are running out of time. It's crazy how little time is left and how little work has taken place. And what's most concerning is how slow these track shipments are arriving. This is the slowest I've seen track arrive. So there is some evidence of some work going on with the water pump for Riptide. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that the water system is working next season. It does appear like they are working on Riptide's water system. I find that getting some night shots into the mountain is a lot better of a view of some color, like markings and all that. So I just wanted to get you guys a night shot of inside the mountain. There is evidence of them rerouting Thunder Run's exit again. And the reason I say this is I was tipped off a couple of years ago about Thunder Run receiving its old Blaura Ensien. Like when they first moved into the mountain, they had this original plan that they're going to go with for the station building and the exit and all that. And this is looking like this could be the start of that plan. So fingers crossed, no evidence behind it. Take it with the biggest bag of salt. But hopefully we see them renovate Thunder Run's look as well, the station building and how you exit Thunder Run. So if all holds true, you'll actually start to turn left and exit Thunder Run down towards that last turn into the station as you're entering the station on Thunder Run. So we'll have to wait and see. Over here at Leviathan, the transmission and motor are ripped out of Leviathan's lift hill. The sprocket has already been replaced on top of the lift hill. And it's going to get a brand new chain. So that's really cool. It looks like they're doing a lot of maintenance on Leviathan's motor and transmission as well. So it's getting a full 10-year service. For those that don't know what that means, B&Ms typically get their 10-year service on their lift hills. So this appears to be that. So it opened in 2012. Wow. It opened in 2012. It's a little late, but yeah, so that's all that's happening over here. It's getting some tender love and care, and who knows, maybe it'll get a paint job because that lift hill is starting to look real rough, especially if you look at it from the Major Max side of things. So fingers crossed. I know everyone's going to say Behemoth is overdue, but honestly, Behemoth kind of suits its rustic, old, falling apart paint look with the theme it is, the land creature. I don't know if that's going to trigger anyone, but Behemoth kind of suits that like bad paint job right now, and I know that Wonderland's probably figuring out what to do with Action Zone right now, and they might be holding off on that paint job. But who knows? Maybe it'll get a paint job this offseason as well. But yeah, that's all I have for a construction update today. I know that was a lot of information in a long period of time. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks so much. Have a good one, guys. Bye.